Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another Baz Reviews Presents. And I don't prevent anything. In fact, I cause you to spend money, I hope, with good people who are small business owners, and this is no exception. This is Vonq, previously known as Besparked, and for a couple of years I've followed her advent calendars, and I'm doing it again in 2025. This year, not waiting until July 2026, but in fact doing this in January 2026. So progress, people. Let's see what we have here. We have this beautiful ribbon, which will be repurposed somehow. Let me undo it carefully. Ta-da. And I do want to make the point of saying, the first thing I want to say about Vonq is that she really went out of her way to make sure that all of us in the States and around the world could get our advent calendars in time without there being too much of a problem with tariffs. So I'm very grateful to her for that. She always ships in a plain white box. Again, reusable. There's a little bit of directions. What we will need if I'm when and if I put these together, and you know that I will, especially since there appears to be a desk. Hallelujah. Okay, so she also sent along this box, which I will see what that is in a second. Everyone who pre-ordered by a certain date received this lovely bathroom set, which will go very nicely with the Me and Home set of bathrooms. If you know, you know. So it's going to, I will take that out of the wrapper toward the end. Now, of course, sometimes I'm really good and I like put it all in order. We're not doing that tonight. No, we're just going to have some fun. All right, let's get to it. We're starting with day 9. And you can, of course, repurpose a bag like this. Ooh, you can do 2 things. You can fill it up with cotton and it turns into a king-size pillow, or you can, or garbage bag. This oh, okay. These are cosmetics, and I wish I would have known that because I would have brought down my doll. And what I will do, as a matter of fact, at the end of the video, is I will put this aside and I will bring down my doll for sizing. This is day 8, so just the day before. Again, another lovely sized bag. Okay, this is a mirror. So you would, and a frame. So I'm guessing this is for a bathroom or for a room of some kind. So, and I'm not flipping the mirror over because, you know, how I feel about mirrors. But that's not bad. Okay. Here's day 3. Not that I'm upset about the mirror. There isn't too much more I can say, except that you can, of course, repurpose this frame to do a lot of things. You can put it flat on and give an edge to a coffee table. Of course, you can use it to put in art. Perhaps if you want to do something funky with the Zero Masterpiece art. This is, these could be throws. Let's open them up. And again, this may be a case where I'm really going to regret not having my, I guess these are for, well, I guess I have new bookmarks, or, you know, when I'm doing my sales, just write the person's name on it. Yeah, these are little floor mats. I could also tuck them in and make them into gentlemen's scarves. Folded cloths. Okay. So she does tell you in here, there's like a little bit of a tag that tells you what they are in case you're confused. Here's day 1. Because, you know, let's just keep things, let's just make everybody guess. These are really nice black bags. If you were an ASMR artist, you would be in heaven right now. Simple as, black is black. Simple as elegant. Okay. Oh my God, this is like, I'm going to have basically an entire bathroom here. We have a brush. We have some kind of hair and nourishing cream. Nice. So we're going to have like a whole like facial setup here. Nice. Day 6. So maybe what I thought was a desk is actually supposed to be like your dressing table. And then you have drawers to put everything all at once. Okay, this is clearly a Q-tip for all of us. No, I'm kidding. This is going to be the ottoman or poof that you sit on. Or, again, if you want, you can make this the base of a snowman. Would you like to build a snowman? Okay. So I'd mention this is a clock. Let me hold on a second and pull this out. Okay, so these are things that you would put on a desk. This is a clock. This is a healing crystal of some kind. And it will, of course, heal things because you take the sharp point and no. And then this is, I guess this is a stand for the crystal. There we go. I'm going to be getting trust me, when a woman sees this video, she's going to be emailing me like, I can't believe you told people to stab people with the crystal. Oh, yeah. Hi there, have you met me? Number 10. Now, I'm going to guess the next several, 10, 7, and 2 are huge. So you know what? I'm going to put them down. I'm going to do those last because I have a feeling that's going to be the big furniture pieces. So we have 18. I was 18. It was a very good year. Oh, this is nice. Very modern. Reminds me a lot of something I would see in the game I play, Design Home, as an area rug or as a piece of art. If you have a bigger doll box and you want to hang this on a wall as art, you can certainly do that. I think it's really, obviously it's really supposed to be an area rug. Day 16. Okay, we've got lots of things in here. So we start off with a very interesting looking, industrial looking vase or ornament. We have tiny crystals that I'm assuming you would use to create a pot or plant. You would fill it up, fill this tiny thing with these. Have another little already succulent. Now you see, this looks like a pretzel. It's even got the salt detail, but I'm not really sure what you would do with that. I personally would eat the salt. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a salt and battery. Number 14. Now here we have another, I want to make sure I grab it, because I was going to say it's an, oh. We had the first fall of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I was going to say this would make a wonderful tree stand, but we also have this this is the telltale sign that if I pull it out, this will be a light. So that's actually kind of cool. It's not a Barbara video if the camera doesn't fall over, folks. How did the robbers know what was in her house? Because the camera kept falling over and they could see what was inside. So here we have something I have wanted for a very long time and just haven't bought, which is a décolletage display, which you would put jewelry on. And here's the jewelry. It's a very fine chain, so I think I'm going to leave that in there. Day 13. 1013, 1013. If you know what 1013 is, give me a thumbs up in the comments. I don't have enough followers for people to give me a thumbs up in the comments. Ooh. Okay. This is something that ladies and gentlemen, the second ball. Is she gonna go for 3 before we're done with this video? Everybody knows what these are. Filing, and let's see, we have, just go in by what's here, the 17th. By the way, that song I was briefly singing, it's really, when I was 17, it was a very good year. Okay, so, this is interesting, because it appears, first we have a very tiny and adorable little snowman. And then we have all of these little bits and bobs that I think you could and should decorate in color. And these would be ornaments. Garland. So this is supposed to somehow be garland for a tree. I'm not quite sure how that would work. Or if you would just hang it up in a room, like room decorate, like a garland as in like birthday garland. Like you would hang it up that way, not necessarily put it on the tree. And this bag, for some reason, I can't get it to open. Maybe my hands are too soft or too rough, either way. But yeah, it looks, because I'm looking at this, I'm like, those are like for presents. But then I see behind it, you see the happy. So, okay, let me try. I don't want to rip the bag because it's so nice. But I think that's what's going to have to happen here. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, can she go for 4? Okay. Don't worry, I am getting somewhere with this. Okay, so this is the string everything goes on. Okay, and basically, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, little decals that you would put on. You would put it on something. I'm not sure what, though. Or if this basically would go on these little cards. It's very interesting. So I think this would mean that you could cut every letter and stick it on. Very interesting. Year 23, or day 23. And as obviously we all know, I am doing this way back in order. We have a pillow, which will very nicely match the cloth. And again, if you want to plump it up or it gets flat eventually, you can put different things back there. Ooh, okay. Things I need, hangers. And if you can see here, it's not just you know, hangers for clothes, you have one that you would put pants on all the way in the back, or a skirt. Nice quality. This is somebody who understands what really goes on in a dollhouse. Except nobody makes toilets or bidets. Maybe benites. If you don't have a bidet, will you have a benite? I'll be here. I mean, is this like a message from her that she's actually getting out of the miniature business and is going to start her own skincare line? I'm just saying. We seem to be coming to 2 more large pieces, so I think we're gonna, and that's a good way for us to end, is with the very large pieces. Okay, she said. Okay, so this obviously would go on the desk or the makeup stand. This is a lamp. And this is a much nicer. Oh wait, am I lying? Is this? The next creation starts with you. Scan the code to help pick the 2026 theme and share your feedback. Okay, I will do that. This actually is not what I just said it is. I'm lying through my teeth. This is actually a hairdryer. It's not a lamp. I'm an idiot. This is a hairdryer with the parts. And again, not to quote Zuru mini brands, but if you know, Zuru did the dry bar one. So this is obviously the base. Not quite sure how this, and then this would be the diffuser. For curly hair, and this is if you're going to straighten your hair. So that's actually quite clever. Very, very clever. Very, like, that was very cute. It wasn't just, hey, let's just do the hairdryer. No, let's go all in. Let's give all the parts. All right, then. There's probably a trick, by the way, to putting this in so everything lies flat. I have not figured out what that trick is, though I have gotten it a little bit better. Okay. Day 20. This Above and Beyond, this is the 3rd year I've had it, and I've not even opened everything, but trust me when I tell you this is my favorite of hers. Okay, obviously you put all the makeup on this. These are little holders for the brushes and stuff. This is perfect scaled also to the Zuru mini brands. The Ultas, and to the Ultas, some of the Ultas, but also with the fashion mini brands, and they do little lipsticks and stuff. Very nicely done. Okay, so what is here now in this box are going to be the big pieces. So we've got 3 little pieces left. We've got the 22nd. So I guess the theme of this was your dressing room. This is your dressing room. This is your walk-in closet. And because no person can live with just dressing alone, we have the coffee, and we have the treats, and we have the plate that the treats go on in the tray. Very nice. Okay. And here we have the rest. These are the I'm going to have to pull one of these out to show you, but this is also nail polish. All different colors, and you have an emery board in there. Nice. Very nice. And supposedly like the press-ons that are like them. Okay. Last of the small bags. Okay. I don't know. Is this, I guess this is stuff you put on your face, various tonics you would put on your face, because my first thought was, eye contact cream? I've never worn eye contacts. Okay, so now we have the biggest pieces. So we have 19 for, let me get the others. No, I could be completely wrong, and maybe they don't work this way, but we have 4. Okay. Okay, so we have several minutes later. We had a small problem. Oh, it was a rather big problem. I kept dropping everything. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this again in order. Because I suspect that that they are put in order, and that it's going to be telling us how to do this. Yeah, I was right. This is the closet, and this is the scan code to give you the directions how to put the closet together, which is what I suspected. 4 is going to be, you knew there had to be a closet with all the hangers and stuff, and you had to put stuff somewhere. This is the mirror, which is a surprise, yep, the foil's on the back. Again, makes sense. You have all that makeup and stuff. This is going to be, I'm going to see what she calls it. This is closet part 2. Oh God. This is me putting it back in an envelope saying, please put this together for me, because I have no idea. No, Barbara doesn't DIY, but she wants to see what the closet looks like. So I may be sending this to a friend and saying, help me. This is closet. How many parts does this closet have? Good Lord. This is the 3rd part of the closet. So is there no desk? Unless this is the desk, which this very well could be. No, this is a tray. So we do not have a desk. I guess I have to go somewhere else to get the desk, but there's lots of closet. Okay. But it's a wooden tray. I'm not sure how our friend Charlie Brown would feel about that. Okay, so I'm going to pause here again, and I'm going to go get my doll, and I'm going to get her so you can see in scale how this is going to look. Okay, so this is me, or my me doll. These brushes are all plastic, and this is an Integrity Toys body. Don't ask me which one specifically. I don't know. But let's try to fit it in. This is the right scale. Finally, we have a brush set that's in the right scale. Bravo. This is eyeshadow. Also the right scale. Bravo. Not eyeshadow, mascara. What am I saying? That's mascara. These are very detailed brushes for the eyes. We know that's going to be the right scale. These are makeup palettes. Allah be praised, they are the right scale. Okay, so we have that good news. Now somewhere here, I have the emery board for the nails. And I had taken out one of the nail polishes to check scale. And I put it back because I'm an idiot. I took it out and then I put it back. Welcome to my life. Okay, so yes, right scale. So kudos, my friend. Kudos to you. You got it in the right scale. Yay! Also in the right scale, soft pretzel. Watch her. That's not a soft pretzel. It is now. The dish of cookies. And more directly, take that, Rement. Not that hard to put things in the right scale. And the coffee. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the takeaway from this? The takeaway from this is Vonq is a genius. That is the takeaway from this. And before I say, do you get it? Let's find out what's in. Remember I said there is one more box. And I think what's in that box, because I had bought, yep, that's what this is. She put it very securely because I bought an extra one of these. There you go. So, and I mean, and she could have just easily have thrown that in the box. She didn't do that. She put it in a separate box. She packed it very nicely. So what do, guys? When her name is Vonq, I will put her website in the description below. I just want to show it to you again in case you can read her message in other languages. I'm going to hold this here. It might be tricky for you to put this in focus. Marjoline, yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The next time she puts this up, you absolutely 1000% want to order these. This year was French Kiss, beautiful. I love it. I am thrilled. This, as I said, is head and shoulders way above her previous years. I am ready to savor this. And I think you should be too. All right, everybody. I will talk to you soon in my next review. It is going to be completely different from anything I've ever done before because guess what? It's not doll related. It's not. It's a big surprise, but it's not doll related. All right, everybody. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Vonq. Take care. Bye-bye.